Everyone, welcome to our discussion on research methodology. In the last class, we were talking about research proposal writing. And a research proposal is an essential requirement for submitting a project to begin a PhD program or to a funding agency for financial assistance. As I said yesterday, for students' projects and also for other research projects, for obtaining a financial assistance or obtaining a fund for the project, the researcher or the student should submit a proposal, and this is usually done prior to doing the research. The project report that we saw in the previous sessions, or writing a project report that we saw in the previous discussions, were the one which we write after completion of the research or after completing your research work. But this is something different. A proposal is the one which you write prior to doing your work. So the aim of the proposal is to convince others that the research is worthwhile for the worthwhile to do in the particular field and has competence and a proper work plan to complete it. So the proposal must address the following questions: what is a plan to accomplish, what you want to do, or how you are going to do it, etc. So the quality of the research proposal is very important. A badly written proposal is usually rejected. So there are certain set rules or ways to write a project proposal, and the different sections that should be included in a good proposal is given below. So the first one is, if you see this the particular sessions or the particular sections are similar to that of our project report which we discussed previously. Now you have a title, you have an abstract, introduction, literature review, methodology, and conclusion. So here the title is the same, that you should have a title which in a crisp or in a short describes the entire work, or it gives an idea of what the work is. That should be a title. So here the abstract for the proposal is different from that of the abstract which we discussed in the project report. The only difference is that in the abstract that we discussed previously, that of a project report or a scientific report after doing the work, it will consist of the result at the end. That means at the end of the abstract, at the end part of the abstract, the results will be discussed, etc. But here, as we haven't done the project or as we haven't done our work yet, the results will not be included. You can either give an idea, or if you have a hypothesis of what the result will be, such things can be added, but the exact result will not be there because we haven't done the project yet. So that's the only difference between the abstract. Introduction is the same. The introduction will have should begin with a capsule statement about the proposal, and it should cover the entire or the subject which you are proposing. The major issues should be covered, the relevance of the topic, the hypothesis, the independent and dependent variables, whatever it is. So depending upon the work, you will have to add into the introduction. And also it should be it's an important thing that it should be comprehensible to a layman. That means it should be understandable so that he is able to place it in context of a common knowledge. The next is the same, literature review. You have to thoroughly work on or read about the area or the research field, connected research field, etc. And such things should be noted here in the review of literature, where you get the background of your work. Then methodology, what all are the methods you are planning to do, or what are the experiments that will be included in the study, etc. should be noted here. If you observe, the result is not there because it's a proposal, and you have a conclusion which is your a hypothesis about the result can be included in hypothesis or in conclusion. That is what you expect at the end of the work. So if you are planning to do a biodiversity study, your conclusion will be either a new or if it is a new record for that particular area, your conclusion might be, after the work, a new record of the biodiversity or a biodiversity report of the area will be generated, etc. can be done. So if you are developing a particular drug, you can expect, or you can or if you are extracting a particular compound from a plant, etc., you can conclude that that may be having some potential drug effect, etc. The another thing that which I have put in bold here is they are the ones which demarcates or differentiates a proposal from the other project report. That is, here a time frame and a work plan should be given, because when you are submitting a project for a financial assistant, the government agency or the particular official who is evaluating the project, he should know in what time you are going to do the project. If it is a student project, it will be for 1 year. So in the 1 year, you have to take the cutoff with 3 months, 3 months. So in the first 3 months, what will be doing? In the next 3 months, what will you do? That will be the method of what is called as a time frame. So if it is a 3-year project, in the first year, what all are the experiments you are going to do? In the second year, what will you do? And in the third year, what will you do? So that is a time frame and work plan. And in the same pattern, budget also should be given. First year, so if you get a particular student project grant for a sum of 20,000 rupees, how you are going to spend that 20,000 rupees? That is what is called as a budget. So first year, for your experiments, from that 20,000, how much you would require? Second year, how much you require? And third year, how much do you require? That is what is called as the budget allocation. And at last, you have the references. So this is what is called as a research project or research proposal writing or a project proposal writing. So it should be noted that how the question is asked. If it is a project proposal writing, you should write these steps. And if it is simply a research report or a project report, simply a project report, that indicates that it is a report which is being written after doing the work, but a proposal will be the one which you do before doing your work. So this is with this particular section which is the research proposal writing. So in the next session, we'll move on, or we'll see the other forms of communicating the research, which will include the seminars, then assignments, seminars, then symposia, etc. So there are other forms where you can communicate your research knowledge, etc. There are about 7 or 6 or 7, I think. Yeah, there are 7 other modes of academic science communication. So we'll discuss one by one in the next section. Thanks for hearing.